we want everyone to know everything. People don't need to know shit. You need to know you. You need to know what's best for you, and you need to do what's right for you. You don't need to be over-explaining yourself and shit to people going, I'm busy because I'm working on myself and it's really important to me what I'm doing. See what I just did? I turned the page. Many of us, ladies and gentlemen, we need to turn the page. Many of us are letting somebody else hold the pen, and somebody else has been writing your story. That's why your life is so shit at the moment. That's why you're not going in the right direction. If you are, then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to all the people that are going in the wrong direction. I'm talking to all the people that are not living their dreams. I'm talking to all the people that are not tapped into their true authenticity. I'm talking to all the people that are feeling a bit off, like something's a bit wrong in life. And you know who you are. And that's just part of your conditioning, part of your life, part of what you've been through, part of how you were raised, part of the expectations of society, part of what your parents wanted you to become, part of what you got influenced by the people that you were surrounded by. And eventually you got to today, wherever you are around the world. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Luke Mind Power podcast. You got here today and you realize that you have not been living your life according to your truth. As we continue on this journey on the Luke Mind Power podcast, and you tune in on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me again. But as you become more and more aware, as you continue to listen and I continue to fuel you in a positive direction, you will slowly come back to your senses. You will be the one that goes and picks up the fucking pen. You will go up to whoever's been holding your pen and you'll fucking knock them out. You'll slap them in the face and you'll go, piss off. This is fucking mine. I am taking this. I am picking up my fucking book. I know that a lot of pages have been written already for me when I wasn't aware and I wasn't as confident and I was sleeping. And I'm going to turn the page today, okay? And if you're watching this, I want you to go on freaking Instagram or Facebook and I want you to send me a direct message and go, Luke, because of your podcast, I've made a decision that I'm going to turn the fucking page and I'm taking my pen back and I'm starting fresh and I'm starting new because it's not too fucking late and I'm not too fucking old and I'm not going to start to continue to live in the past in the expectations of what everybody else wanted for me to become. I'm going to take action and I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to start to rewrite the rest of my story. Because you can change your story, you can change the ending. Okay, we can't change the past, we can change the meaning of the past. That's a beautiful thing to do. We can sit here and go, wow, you know, I went through this and this and this and this. And that's why maybe I've been a bit slow into, you know, becoming successful or living my best life or getting to where I want to be. Okay, we've been through shit. We all been through shit. Accept that. Change the meaning, ladies and gentlemen. We have the power to change the past by changing the meaning of the past. Whatever you think it is, it will be. So if you think that it has slowed you down, if you think that it has destroyed your reality right now, that is what it is. But guess what? By working on yourself, by developing yourself, by healing yourself, by transforming your mind, renewing your soul, connecting with your truth and your authenticity of who you are, changing your environment, becoming more self-aware, man, you can change your future. And you can make peace with the past because you can understand as you evolve. Okay, as you evolve, what will happen is you will start to reflect on the past and the experiences that you went through, and you will start to learn that there are meanings for the experiences that you went through. And sometimes those meanings are as simple as, wow, I am resilient. Wow, maybe I'm supposed to recognize that I am powerful. Wow, maybe I'm supposed to recognize that I can put up with a lot of shit. Maybe I'm supposed to recognize that if I can put up with a lot of negative shit, imagine if I focused all my energy on the next level of my life and tried to do things better or tried to surround myself with better people or just tried to heal and become a better version of myself. Instead of living in the past and thinking that, well, this is what I've been all my life, so this is just how it has to be. No, it doesn't. One of the worst things that we can do is say, well, it's going to take too long. Well, then it mustn't hurt enough, and you must be just comfortable with being in your own way. Saying stupid things like I'm my own worst enemy, where you're just programming your mind in a negative way consistently by saying stupid bullshit like that. Sure, easier said than done. There's a process to everything, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you fucking want in your life, there's a process, okay? There's no quick fix. People don't come to me and I just go, here, snap your fingers, clap your fingers, snap your fingers, and fucking have a dance, and it's all good. Nah, but, you know, of course, when you surround yourself with good energy, people that believe in you and shit, man, you start believing in yourself fucking at the click of your fingers, you know? You go, fuck me. I'm feeling this shit, man. What's going on? This is amazing. Where did this come from? And it is powerful. Good energy is contagious. That's why I protect my energy. So don't get lost in people calling you selfish when you start putting yourself first and start doing what's right for you. But let me tell you, man, when you do start doing what's right for you, people won't like it. And you'll see a lot of people disappear when you start showing up authentically for yourself. For real. And that's a good thing. Because that means you kind of don't need to have those conversations of like, oh, I'm really busy, I can't make it, I don't want to see you anymore, and I don't want to see you because you're on a lower frequency than me, or because you're different, or because, you know, you do that and I do this, and I think we think differently, so I'm going to not speak to you as much anymore. You know, when you just set boundaries and you start to do exactly what's right for you, and you start to decline invitations without giving a reason, it upsets people. Because most people are just comfortable with the fact that you've always been available. Yeah, invite them because they'll just say yes, right? Like you've got nothing better to do but to just say yes to everybody who needs you all the time. And this is not for everyone. Again, what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with helping people, nothing wrong with going to events, nothing wrong with saying, yes, I'm available, okay? But make sure you've taken care of your shit first. Make sure you've taken care of you first. Make sure you're good before you go, yeah, you know what? I've been flat out, I've been busy, been taking care of my stuff. And make sure that it is a good environment. Make sure it is an opportunity for you to grow, or where you're going to feel safe, comfortable, heard, understood, appreciated, loved, respected. Make sure that's the kind of, don't be no bullshit fucking go into some family function where you know you're going to be triggered, where you know they're going to fucking say shit about you, where you know you have experience in the past, experiences where you fucking get shut down and you get talked down to, and you don't have the balls to say shit, so you just sit there quietly, you cop it. If you know that that is something you've experienced in the past with specific people that you've been invited to again, learn the lesson, okay? If people cannot respect you and appreciate you for who you are, and if you have, because I know some of you guys have actually stood up for yourself, you've tried to kind of let people know, you know, I don't really like when you speak to me like that, or when you say that, or whatever. And people are just like, blah, 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 yeah, whatever. And they keep treating you the same. That's the biggest sign that those people can fuck off. They can go and get fucked. They don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your energy. But that also just shows your low self-worth. You don't respect yourself enough. You don't love yourself enough. Because if you did, you wouldn't tolerate that bullshit and you'd leave. Not only that, maybe you'd put up with it for that time. But then the next time they got an invitation to you, you'd say, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I'm unavailable. I hope you have a great time. We want everyone to know everything. And it's like, people don't need to know shit. You need to know you. You need to know what's best for you, and you need to do what's right for you. You don't need to be over-explaining yourself and shit to people going, oh, you know, I'm really, you know, I'm busy because I'm working on myself, and, you know, it's really important to me what I'm doing, and I know I'd love to be there at that birthday or at that event, you know, but I'm really sorry. Maybe I'll try and make the next one. You don't need to say that shit. Don't waste your fucking time. Okay, you need to start setting boundaries, being strong and confident in who the fuck you are and where you're going. And when people don't understand it, they're going to get upset, and that's okay. And I know that you can take other avenues, but, you know, I'm just talking about protecting your energy. You know, I understand the process that I went through and what I had to do in order for me to let go of the past. And that was how I did it. You know, I didn't go around over-explaining myself. There were some people that I shared some stuff with because I thought they'd get me and they didn't. There were some people I was talking to and I was giving more time to because I was closer to them, and I thought that the conversations were going to evolve and they were going to grow with me. And then I eventually realized that as much as I was trying to stay close to them, I continued to grow so much that I felt so disconnected from them while I was having the conversations, and then we just grew apart. And there was no conversation of like, oh, I just don't have time for you anymore, or I just don't resonate with you anymore. No, it was just I grew apart. I became fucking busy, man. I became me. I became the priority in my life. And I know from another vantage point or from another point of view, you can say, oh, yeah, no, he just thinks he's the best. What you don't fucking understand, you will always judge. When you don't understand somebody's journey, you don't understand their story, you don't understand their pain, you will always sit there behind the fucking screen of your phone and go fucking this and this and this and this and this and talk shit. Oh, he's doing this and fucking whatever. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid of that shit, man. Don't be afraid of people gossiping about you, people talking shit about you, all that shit. Like when you start to do what's right for you and going in your fucking direction, don't worry about other people's opinions and fucking all their bullshit that they're talking about you, because it's happening all the time. It's going to happen regardless, whether you like it or not. Who cares? As long as you know which way you're going, you know what you're doing, that's all that matters. People are always going to fucking have something to say. Everyone has opinions, you know, and if we're concerned about other people's opinions, then basically you're disrespecting your own authenticity because you're worried, which is going to lower the way that you think of yourself and how you see yourself and how you actually act and show up, because, oh, don't do that because they might fucking talk. Oh, you know, be quiet. Fuck off, man. You know, that's what happens. Because in the back of your mind, in the corner there, you're like, oh, shit, I better not fucking, don't know what I'm going to say. I might not talk as much, might not say this, might not say that. You know, might not do that because they're going to get upset if they see me doing that, or I shouldn't wear this or whatever, man. All this crap about this, and that. Be your fucking self, man. You want freedom? You want your freedom? Be yourself. Risk it. You only got one life, and yet you're living like you got fucking 10. And we just need these timely reminders, you know what I mean? Because the truth is, you'll get in 50 years' time or wherever it is at the end of your life, and you will. You'll sit there and you go, oh, I wish I had the courage to live a life that fucking, you know, was not with what people thought I should do. I wish I had the courage to do what I wanted to do, you know? And so I'm just planting seeds for you, you know what I mean? So that you try your best, as much as I know that it still isn't easy to do what's right for you. It isn't easy to really not give a shit so much about what other people think of you or your family, whatever. But try your best, you know, try your best to do your best at being your true, authentic self. That is where your freedom is. So many of us are living a lie. You know, we're living a lie. We're pretending like things good, but we're not. And so the moment that you are living in your authenticity, you'll feel better about yourself, man. But we've got to unlearn or become more aware of like the attachments, you know, the codependency, the wanting to fit in, the acceptance and approval from others, when it's just like, fuck others, you know, love you enough so that you know yourself very well and you understand that, you know, you are a strong human being. You're very powerful. And, you know, the journey of life is seasonal. And sometimes you'll have good people come into your life. And sometimes during the journey, you'll become aware that some people in your life are toxic and unhealthy for you. And you'll have to drop them off and let them off at the next stop and keep fucking driving. And you go, fucking stop the bus and open the fucking door and go get the fuck out. You're very toxic, unhealthy, negative for me. I don't want that vibrational energy next to me. Thank you very much for your fucking time. Thank you for teaching me some lessons. Spiridale. Fuck off. You know, that's what's going to happen. You know, many of us are driving the bus. You're the driver, but you got all these fucking people in your life that are fucking negative and toxic and they don't want you to win. They're yelling at you all the time going, no, don't do that. Don't wear that. Don't think like that. Don't believe in that. You can't do that. All this crap, man. And so you got to become aware of that, and you got to stop at the next bus stop and go get out. You know, some people will come into your life for quite some time, for 10 years, 20 years, and then eventually you need to realize that their time is up and they got to get out. You know, don't be so afraid of losing people. You know, we're so afraid, oh, but I've known them for 10 years, or I've been so close to them for 15 years. They've been a really good friend of mine. Are they growing with you or not? Okay, you can love people from a distance. You know, you can send love to the people. All the people I used to hang around with, I send love to them. They're good people. But I had to fucking grow. I knew I had greatness in me. I knew I had more in me. I knew that my journey consisted of living a bit of solitude, having my own back, understanding myself, getting to know who I am. And I wasn't going to do that by being surrounded by all these continuous people, influences, minds, thinking, lifestyles. all the time, something different that's not me. How should I live when I'm lost? I don't even know who I am. You see where I'm going with this, right? And this is the war that you're up against, man, because social media and TikToks and Instagrams and all this stuff is also playing a big role. It's like I may be in solitude or may be with myself, but on social media, when I look, there's a lot of shit on there, man. It's almost like you've got a family all over social media that's influencing you in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's the news, whether it's some model, whether it's a sports car, whether it's a handbag, whether it's a joke, whether it's something is influencing you all the time. So you may be sitting here like, you, Luke, you're on social media, but you're on YouTube and you're talking now and you're on Instagram and Facebook and TikToks and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, reminder alert. The purpose of this podcast is to raise your vibrational energy, is to empower you, is to give you positivity, is to give you good energy, is to help you become more self-aware for yourself, not me. I'm not coming on here going, hey, listen to me, do what I say, do what I'm doing, be like me, do what I wear, and be like Luke Mindpower. I'm not saying that. I'm saying be self-aware of who you are because you have greatness, your own greatness. You don't have my greatness. My greatness is unique to me. But you have greatness, and it's important, and it's your responsibility to figure it out. I've been doing some thinking, right? And I remember downloading music off LimeWire. And then I remember my friend Danilo coming over and I showed him for the first time. I was downloading music on my computer. And I was making my own CDs. And on my CDs, there were the what I would call them was DJ Lukey C. And I would make like hip hop, R&B. And there were CDs, so we had to put them in the computer, burn the disc, and then, that's what I was playing in my cars, all the CDs, right? It's pretty funny to reflect on. It's like nearly 20 years ago. And I had this moment the other day, and I was like, fuck, man. I've loved music, as I believe we all love music. We all love different styles of music and all that kind of stuff. But I was doing this like nearly 20 years ago. Like I was making CDs and I was, giving them to my brother-in-law and my sisters and I was playing them. I had a whole CD case. Like, fuck, man. I had a whole CD case. I remember like DJ Luke C, volume 21. DJ Lukey C, volume 21, 22, volume 23, and then I was just like, fuck, man. This is something that I've always enjoyed. And it's funny because when I do my group coaching, I'm almost DJing. Like I start my group coaching, live coaching sessions with music, and I've got the the media player on the computer and I'm pressing play and I'm, revving everyone up and I'm like, dance and get up and dance. And then I'm getting the microphone and I'm like I'm speaking over the music and I'm talking and I'm like, calling out people's names and like saying stuff like, get up, stand up for your dreams. Like, let's go. So it's almost like I'm manifesting this, it's happening slowly. Like it's not happening by accident, and it's funny that, my best friend is DJ Danilo and I messaged him the other day while I was at the gym and I go, bro, I said, I have a goal by the end of this year to buy some DJ equipment and to go live once a week on TikTok as a DJ because I love music and I was doing this a long time ago, but it never, I guess, it wasn't kind of my, well, how can I say it? Like my purpose in a sense, whereas Danilo, that's kind of like, he's really like invested in that. That's kind of his like complete, like, there's probably more from him, but right now that's his purpose. That's his passion. But for me, it's more of a hobby. It's more of something that like I vibe with. I enjoy. I love listening to music. I love my rap music, hip hop, R&B. I love like dance music and all that stuff. So obviously all these different genres, but I've never actually been able, like it's been a long time. I used to play these at parties that we had in my sister's place and all these parties. I used to make all the CDs and play them. So yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Fucking oath. I'm like, why can't I? Why can't I go on TikTok and go once a freaking week, like on a Saturday night, every Saturday, I'm gonna come on, I'm gonna DJ. But obviously I have to learn. Now, when I looked at Danilo's decks when I was with him before or recently, whenever I was with him last time, I had no idea what I was looking at. Oh yeah, like I press play and then I press play on the other one and this and got no idea what the hell it is, right? But again, once upon a time, I didn't know how to do this podcast. Once upon a time, when you first got a smartphone, you didn't really know how to use it and you fiddled around with it a bit and then you learn. So many of us discount ourselves because we're like, I'm not good with technology. I couldn't learn that. I can't do that. And how many of you guys actually enjoy music? And it's funny because I have a really, really good friend of mine, and I'm not doing this because of her, but I have a really good friend of mine in Florida, and she's a music producer. And I've been trying to like inspire her and encourage her to get on TikTok and to start DJing and to like build her audience and to do it because I've witnessed the success of a couple of my friends, DJing and actually like making a lot of money from DJing on TikTok, and then it just expands from there. And she's still, since I spoke to her last time if you're listening to this, Jamie, I love you, okay? I'm just using you as an example because you just got to wait, okay? So I spoke to her last time, I think I was in Dubai and it was March. And I remember she was telling me her story and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, this is your time. Like, come on, it's time for you to step up and do this shit. So there's obviously some sort of like fear or block or something, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I get on TikTok and I start DJing, she'll see me and she'll go, fuck, he's doing it. Damn, I have to get on, So maybe I'll inspire her to go, fuck, if Luke can do it, like, so can I, And I hope that if you're watching and you're listening and you're thinking that maybe like you could be a DJ or you love music and you'd love to like mix some music and learn how to do it and go on TikTok and go live. I mean, there's heaps of people on Twitch, YouTube, on TikTok. There's lots of different platforms that you can do it on. And it's such a great way to spread more positivity. And I'm really interested to see, like when I actually do this, I'm interested to see how I go because I'm very good at speaking, So, I told Danilo, I said, bro, man, I'm going to come into this industry and I'm going to shake it up a little bit because no one speaks like me. And I know that my music and me DJing and actually speaking at the same time over the music at times, not all the time, of course, we want to enjoy the sound, but, people are going to be like, who is this guy? And be like, yeah, man, I'm a motivational speaker. I don't fuck around. I'm not just here for you to dance. I'm here to fucking wake you up, make sure that you live in your fucking dreams, not your fucking shit life. I'm excited. I'm interested to see what happens, as I do this, because again, it's not necessarily something that I want to, create a career in. I believe that it's also possible that I can actually get good at it. And then, I'll see myself on stage with Danilo or some of my friends who are DJs in the future for sure, because I'll know what I'm doing. But in terms of being by myself as a DJ, I don't know. I don't see that at the moment. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, if you don't try, you never know. And this is the whole beautiful thing about it. Like you conscious expansion. What does that entail? Well, try shit, learn shit, do things that you enjoy. For me, DJing was not a priority because it wasn't necessarily something that I saw as an income or revenue stream that was going to be sustainable for me, So I wasn't as like, oh, that's my only thing I can do. No, I had a passion for communication, a fear that I overcame, which was the fear of public speaking, the fear of being able to express myself, the fear of sharing my story, which then I started to communicate and grow confidence in that area. And then look what happened. I changed my life. And by the way, if anyone's interested and you got a fear of public speaking, you're lacking in confidence, you have a lot of self-doubt or anything like that, and you want to learn to formulate a skill set to share your story and like build confidence in that area, I've got a program. It's called Speak and Transform. Okay, I also do one monthly coaching session in that program. If you're interested in that, DM me, send me a message, and I'll send you the link so you can join that program. Okay, it's $197, and you'll fucking change your life. This is what happened to me six and a half years ago. I started this. And if you're someone who's sitting on the fence, you're fucking living in fear, and you got a fear of public speaking. Maybe you want to be a coach, or you want to start a brand, or you got something that you want to do on social media, behind the camera. You want to do content, but you're afraid of it. This is the program that will fucking change your life, man. All you got to do is send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, or you can go to my website, lukemindpower.com/home, and you'll find it there on my website. You can click, and all you do is click, sign up, pay, and you'll join the program. But it's freaking powerful, man. I'm here because of that. And you can type it into Google if you want. Type in Luke Mind Power Speak and Transform, and you can do that program, man. And literally, you'll take yourself to that next level where you need to be. Also, it's a good community as well. But I'm just saying that because so many of us have this fear of this block of like just being ourselves. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm being myself. I'm not sitting here going, fuck, I better be careful what I say today because heaps of people are going to watch me, and like I don't want to offend anyone. Well, I'm going to offend people because I'm being myself? Sure, if that offends people, well, then they're going to go, I don't want to listen to this guy. This guy's talking shit. All right, go. It takes courage and confidence to be yourself, to be willing to risk being yourself at the expense of losing people who can't appreciate or respect you. Good, spierdale. It's fine. I don't need people in my life that can't respect me or appreciate me. Simple as that. I have people in my life that understand me, that respect me, that go, fuck, Luke is my vibe. Good. There's too much of this, like, we're scared to lose people because we want to fit in. It's like, fit in with what? I get it. We're emotional beings and we thrive off connection. But in order for us to attract the right people, we have to become the right person. We have to become ourselves. You won't attract the right people if you're not yourself. You attract fucking people that can't respect you or appreciate you. And the only reason that's happening is because you don't have a good relationship with yourself and because you tolerate and allow bullshit. And it's what happened to me in August when I was on YouTube and I saw an ad for a speaking program, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I need. I've got a fear of public speaking. But really, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what it was. It was a fear of being seen. I was afraid of people looking at me. Man, when I would have these meetings in corporate, like in my government job, I would sit around the table. Before we start the meeting, guys, let's go around and introduce ourselves. When it would get to me, everyone's looking at me. Fucking my face goes red. I'm blushing. Scared. It's almost like there's this fucking, I can feel people's energy looking at me and shit. Like I'm afraid to speak. I would stutter. My heart rate would be going so fucking fast I can't even speak. Like I'm scared. I'm in fight or flight because people are looking at me and I'm supposed to go, hi, my name is Luke. I work at Service New South Wales. I'm a driver tester, customer service representative. I've got 3 older sisters. My parents live in Newcastle. I drive a Mitsubishi and I'm 31 years old. It's nice to be here. No, instead it's like fucking trying to get it out. Overthinking my own name, overthinking like, who am I? What do I do? What the fuck, man? So dumb. And like literally a program that helped me learn to love myself and become a better communicator is the reason why I'm here today. 1 month's worth, bro. 1 month's worth. And I'm telling you, if you're listening right now and you've struggled with something similar that I just explained, then I'm just reminding you that you are $197 away from living your dreams. And what I paid for the speaking program, I paid $500. 2018, I paid $500 for that program, So I'm just doing you a favor, and making it cheap, accessible, and available for anyone who wants to become an extraordinary speaker, and you want to surround yourself with an amazing community. You want to surround yourself with me. You want me to coach you once a month. Just sharing it. So you can easily go on my website. Even if you type Luke Mind Power on Google, you'll find my website. It's on there. Or you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook and just go, Luke, what's that Speak and Transform program? I would like to do it, and I'll send you the link. Might not be me personally, might be my team, but we'll get it to you. And start your journey, man. It's just a reminder, the biggest investment you can make. I was actually the other day, I was sharing the video of me working with Lisa Nichols to my group coaching program to my clients there, because I wanted them to be reminded to be open to be coachable. If you're not open to be coachable, you can't learn. If you think you know it all, you won't be open to be able to become better, to be open to knowing that there's help out there. There's people that can help you to grow and transform your life. And so by showing them a video of me being coached by Lisa Nichols, after I did a speaking presentation, I spoke for about 3.5 minutes. And then Lisa came and she stood with me and she critiqued me. And I stood there and I listened, and I was showing that to my clients so that they could see that, hey, Luke also was coachable. Luke was taught. Luke invested thousands and tens of thousands of dollars into himself to learn from other people, other teachers, other coaches. So now he can be the person that he is today. For real, So that's why I say biggest investment you can ever make is in your personal development and your healing, which of course includes your communication. Because in order for you to grow and work on your personal development, you have to communicate. You can't do it being quiet. And if you're working with me, that's not something that happens, because you are required to communicate. You're required to talk. You're required to share your story. You're required to work through stuff. And this is the beautiful part of this process. I get to live a very fulfilling life because I overcame my fears. I didn't let them control me. And now when you overcome the fear or the self-doubt or the overthinking, you become very confident and sure of who you are. It's a very, very powerful place to be, because now you're aware of what it is that is going to be outside of you that can be very toxic, negative, and draining. And what doesn't empower you, what doesn't help you grow, what doesn't fuel you in a positive way. So you stay away from that. Or if you do engage in some sort of negativity or news or media, you see it, but you're very aware. Many of us are just unconscious because we're living this lifestyle. We're living a lifestyle of unconscious, toxic, destructive, habitual behaviors. We're not self-aware. We're not aware of how we're living our life, what we're consuming, what we're listening to, how it's affecting our energy, our health, and how we feel about ourselves. So once you overcome the doubts, the fears, you get confidence in yourself, then you become very hyper aware. It's like, whoa, who am I hanging with? What am I watching? What's fueling me? I understand my brain is a sponge. When I pour water, it soaks in the water. Much like when I listen to something, whether it's negative or positive, my brain, it soaks it in as well. It holds on to it. So we have to become aware of that choice that we make every single day with what we surround ourselves with and what we consume, because you become what you consume, which then affects the way that you think and how you feel about yourself, and because you become what you think about. That's the power of your thoughts. So ladies and gentlemen, please do yourself a favor. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. It doesn't matter where you are in life. A couple of my clients that I work with in our group coaching, they're in their 70s, early 70s, mid 70s, doing the work. It's crazy that they could actually believe in change, that I could help them believe in change. Fuck yeah. That's mad. I'm proud of that, So many of us can get to that point in our life where it's like, it's too late. I'm past, I'm too far gone. I'm too far gone. It mustn't hurt enough. It does. It needs to bother you. It needs to prick you in the ass every fucking day until you skip around and you go, fucking hell, I can't take this anymore. Got to do something about it. And so many of us, it's just not hurting us enough, and so we keep walking around. Many of us are just unconscious to the possibilities. We haven't got the positive mindset or the belief that we can change, that we can heal, that we can become better, that we can completely change our lives. And it's scary growing, it's scary changing, it is, but it's scary it's a risk for everything that you do in life. It's a risk to walk down the street that you might get hit by a car, and you're scared of catching a fucking plane. People die every day over some shit they say. People die every day fucking in just accidents. Everything you do is a risk. It's a risk to fucking love someone. It's a risk to get married. You might get divorced. It's a risk to fucking breathe. You might fucking die. It's a risk to go to bed. You might not fucking wake up. Everything's a risk, but the risk must be taken, because whoever doesn't risk doesn't live. So you can keep listening to my podcasts and keep fueling and keep staying motivated, keep staying inspired, and keep being in your own way. Possibly, you could be like, this is good. I'm listening to these podcasts. I'm changing my lifestyle. I haven't overcome my trauma, my pain, and my insecurities and shit. But no, this is good. I'm listening to my podcast. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to bed earlier, but I haven't overcome the pain of the past. And many of us do this, we try to cover it up by trying to work on ourselves and empowering ourselves and focusing on what we want to do to achieve stuff, because we put a Band-Aid on the past and we're like, it's okay. I'm just going to get over it. It'll eventually heal. And what you'll find is that you'll do that for a considerable amount of time until you burn out. And you won't realize why you're burning out, but eventually you'll have to learn the lesson many, many times. And then eventually it'll always come back to you. And eventually you'll realize that the reason why your energy is not shifting is because you're carrying too much stored, trapped energy, which is pain. And until you release that and process that and heal from that, you'll always be trying to run away from it. And as the saying goes, you can run, but you can't hide, because it'll always be running with you. It'll always be beside you. It will never go away until you give it some light. And again, it's something you feel. It's something that you will be called to do. It's not something I'm going to force you to do, and I'm not here to do that. I'm just going to keep speaking. I'm going to keep sharing, going to keep taking action, going to keep doing my thing. But I am sharing with you that you will know when it's the right time for you to wake up and for you to heal and for you to do the work. And if you want to keep living the way you're living without doing the work, you will be able to feel, how is my energy? How do I feel within myself? Everything is about how you feel. I don't know how you feel. You know how you feel. You have to become aware of that. You have to feel that within yourself. Am I doing as much as I can be doing? Am I avoiding something? Am I procrastinating? Am I not showing up in some way, shape, or form in my life? Is there stuff that I'm hiding? Is there stuff I'm running away from? Is there stuff I haven't addressed yet? You know, not me. You know what's hurting you. So you've walked a long way already. And so surviving and persevering through the challenges, the relationships, the storms, the toxic environments, and everything that you've done so far is something that you need to be proud of, because it just shows how amazing you are. But there's a long journey ahead, and there's more days to come for you. And so you want to remind yourself that whatever's up ahead, you'll handle it. But for today, focus on getting through today. Don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. Just know that you're in the right place and everything's happening for a reason. Life is happening for you, not to you. And there are more lessons for you to learn. And that you're learning the lessons, you're paying attention to them, and you're becoming wiser and wiser every single day as time goes on. And I'm going to be always here by your side, in your ear, whether you're listening on the train or the bus or wherever you listen to my podcast. Maybe you're going for a walk, or maybe you're at work doing shifties and you're like, fuck, I'm just going to listen to the podcast while I'm working. Don't tell anyone. I'm not going to listen to the radio. But yeah, shout out to you. If you're listening, wherever you are, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this episode has inspired you. I hope to see you in our Speak and Transform program. It's going to be amazing. And life is really what you make it. So let's make it fucking great. And I will see you on our next episode. Let's go, baby. I'll see you soon. Bye.